Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel yet again. For today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to properly cook a beautiful ribeye steak that's very reminiscent of the prime rib you used to around the holidays with some buttery aromatics, and it's going to be paired with roasted early winter sweet onions and perfectly seared golden brown scallops for a wonderful upscale holiday meal that will blow anyone away if you were to whip this up for them. I'm also going to do a wine tasting at the end of this video with the help of my award-winning sponsor Aervana to walk you through what aeration means to wine and how to use it amongst the many varieties available. Aervana is a Taiwan Excellence awarded product for its innovative design, and its American brand Aervana Select works with the same amazing design built by its Taiwanese parent, so quality is upheld across the board. I'll have a few more tidbits toward the end of the video about the award if you're interested, but let me stop yakking away and let's dive into the recipe. Alright guys, so like I said, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited about this recipe. The takeaways here is going to be how to really properly cook a ribeye. I chose a ribeye for this recipe because I kind of want to mimic a prime rib for around the holidays. A lot of you folks will buy really beautiful big prime ribs, and this is really just one slice of that. So they cook very similarly, except this is a smaller cut of meat. Also, I'm going to show you guys how to cook scallops. It's kind of not necessarily my unique way of doing it. It's just the way I really enjoy cooking big, beautiful, thick, diverse scallops. And it's really quick, super easy. And I'm going to show you guys how I really approach wine pairing and how that kind of plays into these two beautiful proteins that I chose for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to roll right into it with this ribeye. Really first up, you want to make sure that your ribeye or your piece of meat is going to be fairly dry. You want to put it in the fridge for at least an hour or so with the packaging off, and maybe even want to like blot it with a paper towel just to remove any of the excess moisture, because that's what you're really battling with when you're searing or trying to get a beautiful caramelized piece of steak like this. But first up, let me get my salt and pepper. You want to make sure you season it really good on both sides. Kosher salt, nice crispy texture to it. You know, add a generous amount. Cracked black pepper, you know, good chunky coarse. Flip it over, do the same. And then into a really hot pan. So I'm going to actually cook this twice. So I'm just going to do an initial sear, you know, really hot, 2 minutes, maybe 1.5, 2 minutes on each side. And then I'm going to add crushed garlic and rosemary to finish off the sear. And then I'm going to take it out of the pan and let it rest for a little bit to get my scallop dish prepared. And then I'm going to re-flash it in a really hot pan again right at the end. With some beautiful onions and red wine gastrique that I'm going to make on the fly, and finish it off right at the last minute with the scallops so the scallops don't overcook. Okay, so the steak is going to rest, I'd say, for at least between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on the time frame you want, but you could definitely speed this up, the process right now, and cook everything in the next 5 to 7 minutes. So it's a good time frame just to let that rest. I'm going to pull out my scallops real quick. And these are beautiful, I believe U10, so they're 10 to a pound, diverse scallops, and they come with this little muscle on here. These are not pre-frozen, these are fresh. Never been frozen, and you want to take this off because it's really tough if you forget about it. It's a little muscle that grows on the side of the scallop, and sometimes the muscle's not on there, so you don't have to worry about it. And you can tell it's a little bit different texture than the actual meat of the scallop. Okay, so I'm going to get my pan on low to medium heat just to get that preheated, and I'm actually going to slice these right down the middle, not vertically but horizontally if you want to look at the scallop that way. But I'm going to lift it up and tilt it vertically and just cut it straight down, straight as evenly as I can down the middle, so I retain even thickness on both sides. And you almost, if you have a sharp knife, you just push straight through. You don't even have to slice necessarily. And last but not least, this guy. You could do this on a cutting board if you'd like. Don't want to dirty my cutting board. Okay, so lay these all cut side up. Get rid of the mussels. Pan's just starting to smoke. This is a good time to actually get the other pan to finish your steak on low heat just to preheat it, because this is going to be a fast process. And with the scallops, you just want to season the cut side up with just salt and really nothing else. I just want to do salt with this. I want to make this as base as possible so you guys can really add whatever you like. Sometimes you like to season the scallops or the steak a little bit differently, maybe even add a different sauce or kind of go crazy with a different flavor profile you want to stand out. So I'm going to make this really simple, just the fundamental of how you need to cook the protein. So make sure the pan has a good amount of canola oil on the bottom. You want to make sure that all the oil is going to kind of almost like lightly fry up the scallop. I'm just about to add the scallops, but before I do that, I'm going to get my steak going just for the last sear I want on it. I'm also going to throw in my onions. Get that last final sear on the steak, and then I'm going to add my scallops. Super hot pan. And you're just going to sear these super, super quick. They're going to be in and out, and I'm probably not even going to touch them on the other side. Beautiful. It's exactly what you want. Take the steak out, let it rest for just a second longer. Take the onions out. And then here I'm gonna turn off the heat. I'm gonna add just some sugar to the bottom. Red wine vinegar. And a little bit of the unaerated Pinot using the Aervana. This would be a light red wine gastrique. Okay. This looks exactly how you want it. Thick. Just starting to coat the back of the spoon. If it cools down slightly, it's going to thicken up because there's a little bit of sugar in there. But that'll be perfect. Let me turn the heat off. Get my steak. Whew, it's toasty. Ow, ow, hot. And then I'm going to slice this up and then plate my scallops and steak, almost like a holiday surf and turf. Okay guys, it's actually time to taste this. I'm very excited. This is the wine tasting portion, or just the tasting portion of the video, except this time I have some beautiful bottles of wine. I have my Aervana, which is absolutely, I love this. I've been using it for at least a month or two now, and it was very, very popular during my Thanksgiving Day get-together with all the family. People loved it. I mean, aside from just being able to push the button and wine come out, I mean, it's very convenient, especially if you had like a few of them. You could set up like a whole tap system. But it was really cool to play around with. It has a lot of different functions and features. Just to let you guys, show you guys exactly how it works. It has this like telescoping, anyways, it has a telescoping aspect to it in case you have like a bigger bottle of wine, and it comes out really easily. It fits, you know, most even larger bottles of wine. It just fits right in there. It plugs up really tight and nice. I'm gonna go through a Pinot Noir, a cab, a Cabernet Sauvignon, and a Chardonnay, which is actually from Talbott Winery. It's not my winery, but beautiful winery up north, which I'm very excited to kind of pair with this whole meal. I chose the wines because it's kind of a blend between all three. So you would want to have the cab with just the steak, very heavy, rich, thick wine. And then the Pinot Noir is kind of like a balance between the two. You could kind of use it between either the scallops or the steak because it has, you know, that red wine element to it that really pairs well with red meats, but also it's a little bit more acidic, a little bit thinner than the cab, which is kind of a nice feature. So you can kind of blend the three with this wine, which is a nice thing. If I were just to have the scallops alone, I'd love to have the Chardonnay, and all of these have different aeration. Most wines, or a lot of wines in really nice restaurants, are just in, you know, restaurants that care about their wine selections and their wine pouring. A lot of the times they'll decant wines, especially like heavier Cabernet Sauvignons or even Merlots, which are really deep in color and sometimes have a lot of sediment. So it's nice to have this because instead of a decanter, you can adjust the aeration settings, which is essentially what the decanter does. And if you put it to 0, which I'm gonna use with the Chardonnay, it does 0 aeration. All it does will pour the bottle of wine into your glass, which is not the feature that I really like the most, that you can just kind of push and pour. The Pinot Noir is gonna be set to probably like 60, so that's halfway. It goes from 0 to 120. If you were to set it to 120, essentially that's like decanting a bottle of wine and letting it sit for about 3 hours just out in the open so it can aerate. Well, this will do that just by the push of a button if you set it to full aeration with a heavier wine like the Cabernet Sauvignon. So like I said, I'm gonna start out with the Pinot Noir, which I already have right here. And I set this to like a 60 aeration, halfway, you know, the dial halfway up. Super clean, doesn't have like the rich tannin that you would get right after your pour. It's really balanced. You can taste all those Pinot Noir grapes, and it's a really nice feature to have, you know, ready, available, especially if you don't want to wait 3 hours for your wine to decant. So I'm gonna actually taste this and just run through the flavors after that wine spiel. And this looks incredible. I'm gonna have a little scallop and some steak, surf and turf. I would say probably amongst the three, the Pinot Noir is gonna be the most balanced. Beautiful wine, good pairing between the steak, the scallop, and the onion, but now I'm actually going to swap it out for the cab. I'm gonna quickly wash the aerator, the Aervana aerator, with a little bit of water so I don't cross-contaminate the Pinot Noir with the cab. Just slide that in. And I pre-charged this with just a little bit of the cab so it's not watery and it's not gonna dilute the cab. And this is set all the way up. And it'll be a little bit foamy in the beginning, and that's how you know it's really working with the aeration. All right, that's good. One more bite of the steak. Let this settle. Man, that steak's good. It's so important to rest your steak. I can't tell you enough. Just the juices, you know, almost equalize and permeate throughout the meat. Very juicy piece of meat. Oh man, steak and a good cab. It's like there's nothing like it. Almost like rich berry flavors, you know, maybe a little bit of pepper. Just really rich. It's perfect with the steak. And it's a really balanced, like I said, very clean. Every time I use this, it's very clean, balanced flavor. Okay, last but not least is the Chardonnay. And again, I pre-charged this with just a little bit of the Chardonnay, so it's not gonna be watered down. And this is gonna be no aeration. There you go. It had a little bit of that buildup from the last one. And see, this won't foam. I mean, this will be just like bubbles if you were to pour it in the glass, and they'll dissipate right away, unlike the cab. So I'm gonna have some scallops with this. The thing with scallops, you gotta cook them really fast, super hot, and then you get a little crispy, perfectly cooked. I mean, that with the butteriness of this, a little acidic, almost like a citrus, and it's just super, super clean. Love Chardonnay with scallops. This whole pairing was incredible. I love cooking like this from time to time, especially for a good holiday occasion. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully there was a bunch of takeaways from this. Hopefully you learned a little bit about wine and aeration and what that means, and balancing out your flavors. And I hope you guys go check out the product in my description box. The Aervana is available on Amazon and at their Aervana website. So go check those out. I'll have it all in the description box below. I have to thank Aervana for sponsoring this video and collaborating with me on this recipe or these recipes. It was really fun to kind of taste 3 different wines with just a single pairing. Like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you guys liked it. Comment down below for future video requests, things you want to see on my channel, and I'll see you guys next time with another recipe. Later, guys.